Hello and welcome. Mary Pendergast, ecologist at Wild Utah Project here.
And Kayleigh Mullen, the citizen science wildlife biologist with Utah's Hogle Zoo.
And we just wanted to take a few minutes to thank all of the community scientists who have participated in the 2020 Boreal toad and aquatic habitat assessment field season. And we just wanted to start by mentioning, we had a really interesting start to the field season with COVID restrictions and safety guidelines coming into place in March. We really had to hustle in April to find an alternative to our typical in-person training event at the zoo. And so we did have that live webinar training, and we were just blown away. We had 50 volunteers participate in that event live, and then many others who viewed the training after the fact. So we really kicked off the field season right. And in addition to that, within the 2 weeks after the training, we had kind of unprecedented sign up and for the independent site visits as well as the field trips with Hogle Zoo. So you guys really came out in force this year. In a year where we might expect drop off in participation, we actually had an increase. So we just can't thank you guys enough.
So I thought I'd share with you some of the numbers from this season. So you'll see here that we actually had 45 community scientists come out with us this year. And that is both through day trips with the zoo and those of you who came to pick up your toad buckets and complete your independent surveys. And through all of that hard work, we actually had 150 site visits across over 100 sites throughout the entire state of Utah. So kudos, you guys. That's some really big, impressive numbers. So thank you again. And we actually found 25 sites had toads, either eggs, tadpoles, adult toads. So I know a lot of you are still yet to see a toad, but I promise you, they are out there, and you will see them if you just keep on surveying. And as Mary alluded to, we actually had 50 people come to our live training in April, and I think that is the most we've ever had. So again, thank you. It's been such a crazy year, and to know that we still have this support and we still have biologists coming out with us and helping us find these toads really means a lot to us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think just to wrap it up, we really did not have any negative impacts to the project due to the pandemic. And so again, kudos to you guys for participating and figuring out creative ways to get outside and contribute to conservation efforts and still do those things safely. We want to let you know that in December, we have a conservation partners meeting. So Boreal toad conservation planning statewide meeting with federal and state agency biologists who do wildlife and habitat management. And data that you all helped gather, community science collected data, are going into things like population viability analyses and planning for habitat restoration, and even areas that could have repatriation or toads be re-released into the wild. And with that, maybe Kayleigh, you could just share a little bit about what's going on with the toads at Hogle Zoo.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure if you've been up to the zoo, you've seen the toads that we have in the small animal building. But we also have a small colony of toads off exhibit in this biosecure area where the public don't see. And we actually hibernate these toads. So today, me and my colleague Tori from the Conservation Department, we actually created some hibernacular for the toads. And these are little tubs that we put in soil and moss and make these really beautiful little winter homes for the toads. And then we're going to put them into a hibernation chamber. And then we leave them there until March. And it really recreates those winter conditions that the toads are seeing in the wild. And this is hopefully going to trigger some breeding activity in the spring. And once we have the toads breeding, we'll have hundreds and hundreds of tadpoles that we can re-release back into the wild. So it's going to be hopefully a really big year next year. And we hope to invite some of you guys out to the reintroduction events. So stay tuned.
That sounds amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And hopefully next year we'll be in person and be able to visit with some of the toads at the zoo and see you all in person and enjoy some good presentations and good food. But if that's not the case and we're not able to do that in the spring of 2021, then we know that we can still handle it. And we have an amazing group of dedicated community scientists that will participate virtually. So thank you again, and everyone be well and stay safe.
Thank you guys. Bye.